OG got Tammy thinking that everybody done ganged up on her at the skincare party. CeCe says she don't care whether Kristen or any of Byron's kids like her or show up to the wedding. Byron tells Malaysia the real reason that he doesn't see his granddaughter. Let's go ahead and get into this review.
Can we just talk? Can we just talk about
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning into my channel. It's your girl Nesha here, back in the cut once again. Welcome to all of my new, old, and potential subscribers. Y'all know y'all greatly appreciate it, alright? Today, we are going to review Basketball Wives. This is Season 8, Episode 4. So, y'all, we pick up where we left off last week, and we are at the skincare party that Evelyn threw. This is the party where OG felt it was her business to let Kristen know that she wasn't a real basketball wife and that Byron was not the real father of Thomas, okay? We found out that the real father is TK Carter. Shout out to my subscriber that let me know that. Kristen says, you know what? I'm done with you. I don't care. Don't want to go to your bridal shower. Not interested in going to your wedding because I feel like you gave the information to OG intentionally so that she could use it as a weapon to hurt me because you know how Thomas feels about the fact that it's not his father or whatever. Apparently, this is a really touchy topic for him. You know, some kids take it to heart, especially if their siblings all have one father and they have a different one. This could be something that Shaunie can relate to because y'all let me know down below that Shaq isn't Miles' father either. And so he was adopted. So some kids, you know, that has a hold on them. They can't get past the fact that it's not really their father. Some of them don't really feel accepted. They feel tolerated and stuff like that. So the reason why Kristen, I had to put my little thinking cap on and figure out why Kristen was acting the way that she was acting is because she knows how sensitive this topic is to her husband. And so that's why she was acting like that. But CeCe, she had enough heat for the day because she feels like, you know, OG, I did tell you this information, but you're using it as a weapon. So CeCe gets her stuff and she leaves. To Shaunie, who is with Miles, and she's walking around her house doing a security check. Apparently her house was broken into and she no longer feels safe. She said she done updated her security cameras. She done changed her locks, but she still does not feel safe in the neighborhood. The crime rate has increased. So a lot of people's houses are getting broken into and she don't know when she's gonna move, but it's about time for her to do so. I don't blame her because I'd be terrified, honey, when my husband is not here. So now we go over to Byron and CeCe's house. They're talking about the fact they can't wait until July 12, 2020, because that is the day that they will be getting married. We talk about what happened at the skincare party that Evelyn threw. You remember OG decided to use information that she had overheard during a casual conversation as a weapon to attack Kristen. And CeCe doesn't like the way it makes her look because she didn't think that OG would take that information and go, you know, flip it the way that she did because it's not a bad thing. You're making this worse than what it is. Byron is not his real father, but nobody cares because we don't treat him any differently. Byron loves him as though he is his own child. I took care of him. No sperm makes me any different. But then CeCe is like, I just don't like the way that they're making me look. They're blaming me for what came out of her mouth. And he tells her, you can't control what it is that people say. So you can only be accountable for what you did. We found out that CeCe isn't even the one that said it. It's Byron that said it. And OG just so happened to be there. And of course, you know, just getting the information. And apparently she did ask Byron if it's okay to talk about it. And he was just like, you know, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. OG, in a manipulative way, took that information and she like deposited into some sort of manila folder in her brain for the very opportunity to bring it back up to Kristen because of the way that Kristen treated her when they first came. And I've noticed, or when she first came, and I've noticed that she is really hanging on to the fact that Kristen kind of shaded her. and how, you know, Kristen just talk about the way she looks, talk about the fact that the man didn't want her. Y'all know how Kristen treated OG back in the day. So OG is trying to treat her the same way. I really hate the fact that CeCe was played in this situation and she doesn't realize it until the shit's hit the fan. We go over to Kristen, who is speaking with Thomas, and they're talking about the party and how OG came out and said those things, and you know, how do you feel about it, Thomas? And he's like, you know what I mean? It's never been a secret. I know that's my father. I love him. But I don't like the fact that she's trying to use this as a weapon. Like, I don't know if I can get past that. So we're having dinner with Tammy, Jackie, and OG. Some of the topics were, what happened at that skincare party that I missed? So then Jackie proceeds to tell her, girl, you really missed it because OG was so pissed. She went over there and told her, you know what? You're not even really a Scott. His real father is TK Carter. So Tammy gets out of her chair and she done ran over to the side. She's like, what? So you mean to tell me that Kristen is not a real basketball wife? I'm like, well, hold up now. I think she's technically still a basketball wife. Catch me up. Why am I missing the point that they keep saying, well, her name is not really Carter. Did she marry as a Carter or did she marry as a Scott? I'm confused. OG says that she was ganged up on at the party. That Malaysia, Kristin, Shaunie, all of them was coming up against her and nobody was there for her defense. Tammy says she doesn't like that because ever since this girl came into the group, y'all have really been talking about her and nobody has really had her back. Now, OG, you know good and well them people were not ganging up on you, and if you felt that way, you could have handled yourself. Because ever since you came into Basketball Wives, from the very first episode that you was there, honey, you didn't let nobody just talk to you any kind of way. So the fact that you were sitting there and you started crying, I think it's something else going on with you, honey. It gotta be something to do with Kwame, thinking about your brother. You probably thinking about the fact you want these babies that he haven't gave you yet. Maybe you really ready to settle down and he told you couldn't do that yet. Because I refuse to believe that you felt some sort of way, that you felt like these girls were really ganging up on you, because you have been handling yourself from the very beginning. And then Tammy calls Jackie fake because she feels like Jackie is more concerned with trying to be a part of the clique than using her better judgment when it comes to these girls and discerning what's right and what's wrong. Instead of Jackie saying, you know what, this is a grown woman, she handled herself well, she has always handled herself well. Instead of Jackie saying that, Jackie says, you know what, I'm gonna need me a smoke and a drink or something. She said, I'm like, Jackie, really? Why you didn't tell Tammy, boo, why are you calling me fake? I handle myself and she can handle herself. And this girl wasn't bullied. That girl was over there going toe to toe with everybody. So now we go over to Malaysia, Kristen, London, and Vanessa. They're shoe shopping. I have a comment here. I'm wondering why Vanessa ain't said much of anything. This what, the third episode I done seen her in, and she's just there. She just exists. Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself, honey, because if you don't, I'm about to lose interest in you very fast, okay? So we talk about the fact that Kristen's mother has been 1 year free of breast cancer, and she's there buying her mom some pink shoes. I guess it's for that run that she's supposed to be having. The one that's the same day as the bridal shower that she says she's not going to attend, okay? So then we start talking about how OG tried to expose the fact that Byron is not Thomas's real father. London starts crying because she's like, oh my gosh, I know how he feels about this. I know that he's hurt by that. How could she do this? Why would CeCe ever do this? She knows how sensitive this is for Thomas. I can't believe this. This is unacceptable and stuff like that. And I'm like, but CeCe and Byron have said it's not really a big deal. You know, it's hard for me to really comment on that because I haven't been in that situation. But you are grown now. You know that Byron loves you as though you're his. Even though you are not biologically his, he loves you as though you were. You have another father that loves you. He's been posting you on Instagram as well. I don't understand why such a sensitive topic still to this day. I can get when you were younger, it's kind of hard to accept that, to digest that, to just, you know, accept that reality that you're not really his child. But then again, if he didn't treat you any different, it should be easier for you to accept it. But now you're grown. And I don't understand why it's still that much of a sensitive topic for you. London started crying as though they talk about this all the time and he's depressed about it. And I don't know. But like I said, I've never gone through that before, so I can't really just say that he should not feel that way. But it's just hard to believe that it still affects you as though you found out yesterday. Malaysia is going to meet with Byron because she refuses to believe that her cousin is saying these things. It seems like CeCe keeps throwing Byron under the bus, and she wants to get to the bottom of this because she knows that her cousin would not say that. This is the same person that you said wouldn't say that he didn't want Kristen there, and he said he didn't want Kristen there. Everything so far that CeCe has said, he says that he said. I don't know. Seems like Byron is a man of few words. Maybe he didn't bring it up because he just doesn't like to talk about drama. Maybe he didn't feel like it was that big of a deal. I got a brother that's like that. If you bring it up to him, then he'll talk about it. But if not, you won't hear people about it. It doesn't mean that he doesn't feel the way that he feels. So then we go over to Tammy, Shaunie, Jackie, and OG, and they're sitting down. Tammy's trying to get to the bottom of why y'all are all ganging up on OG. Shaunie's like, what do you mean? Nobody ganged up on OG. Well, she said that you called her the scum of the earth. What? I don't even use that term. Like, why would she even say that? And so OG is like just sitting there. And I'm like, OG, so you blatantly lied? You told Tammy that this is what this girl did, just like you said that they all ganged up on you, and you're going to just sit there and you're going to lie, and now Tammy looks crazy. See, this is why you can't be defending people when you don't know the whole story, Tammy. See, this is why you should have been going to those, well, Evelyn wouldn't have wanted you there anyway, but still. You know, you don't go defending people when you were not there because you don't know the full story. So Shaunie feels like, you know what, maybe I was wrong for talking to you or coming at you the way that I did when we were over there at that skincare party. I really have my issues with CeCe because CeCe is the reason why this information is getting out. So now we go over to the studio with Phoebe, Shaunie, and Evelyn. Your girl Phoebe is a rapper. I said, honey, you on the wrong reality show. You should have been on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Phoebe said, I'm tired of being broke. I'm trying to get on big dog status like you and Evelyn, okay? I want to have real estate. I want to have businesses and stuff like that, TV shows. I'm trying to get on y'all status. Then we start talking about OG. She says, you know what? My first impression with her wasn't a good one. She rubbed me the wrong way. She's going to ask me, didn't even know who I was, and ask me, did I have a gag order or did he have a gag order on me? And she's like, no, I'm a big dog. I do what I want. I say what I want. Nobody's going to put a muzzle on me. Really, OG? Why are you concerned? So Shaunie then says, you know what? Tammy is having a Ponderosa little brunch or whatever. I would really like for you to come. Phoebe says she's going to go. But y'all, this is the first time Evelyn ain't have nothing bad to say about Tammy. I said, oh, wait, this is progress. All right, y'all, so now we're at the brunch, and Tammy wastes no time. She go ahead and gets right into the topic. What's going on with Kristin and CeCe? Why is it y'all can't get it together? Now, from the meeting that OG had with Tammy, Shaunie, and Jackie, it seemed like OG was going to be accountable for her part, and that she was going to be able to see where Kristen was coming from and vice versa, okay? So this was supposed to be a really good meeting, but then OG immediately went back to her old ways, and she's just like, y'all never gave me a chance and all of this. Basically, long story short, they end up apologizing to each other, okay? So then now we're going to move along over to CeCe and what CeCe's issue with Kristen is. CeCe gets a little bit defensive, and she's like, you know what? I really don't care whether you or any of his kids like me. And they're like, wait, you don't care if his kids like you, CeCe? Are you saying this? She's like, yes, I don't care. Well, let me ask you this. Malaysia says, let me ask you this, CeCe. Do you care whether or not his kids go to your wedding? No, I don't. CeCe, you're really saying that you don't care? No, as long as Byron is happy, that's all I'm concerned about. And when I heard this, I was a little taken back. Now, for the most part, CeCe, I understand where you're coming from, but right here, you were wrong. You were wrong. I get why you're frustrated and why you said what you said, but those are his kids, and you don't want to be that one that's just like in the middle coming between him and his kids. You don't want, you're supporting this whole idea that CeCe is the problem. CeCe is the reason why we can't get nowhere. You see what her thought process is? CeCe doesn't care whether we're here or not. We're disposable. She doesn't care. Perception is reality, CeCe. And for you to be saying the things that you're saying and then with this nonchalant attitude and, oh, it's never a big deal, this is why people feel like you are the reason that he's not spending time with his family. It supports it supports the idea that, you know what, you are an issue, you are the real reason, you are the manipulator, you are really the one that, put the battery in her back to get the information out there because you don't care about us anyway. Shaq was able to help Shaunie get her another house, so Shaunie is moving. Miles is there. He's helping her. She talks about the fact that her son Shakir will be turning 16, and so she's going to be planning a party for him, but it won't be at her new place because she don't want 400 plus kids tweeting out her address, okay? Safety matters, and she's not trying to have to move again. Shaq been trying to take her on dates because he still considers her his wife. Is Shaq in a relationship? Is he married? Have he moved on? What's going on with Shaq? She says that, what would happen if I did do that with Dad? And Miles is like, what you mean, like go on a date? She's like, not that it would ever happen, but what would you think? I don't know. Maybe she is a little interested in Shaq. Maybe not. Who knows? So now we go over with Kristen, Vanessa, Evelyn, Phoebe. They're wine tasting. Y'all know that Phoebe really don't care for wine, but she's like, you get past that nasty taste and you actually get drunk. So she's feeling that part. Okay, we talk about CeCe and how it seems like she's always throwing Byron under the bus because she always says what Byron is saying, but then they don't believe Byron says it because he's never said anything like that. And so they just think that CeCe is the one that's doing this. CeCe is the manipulator, okay? She's behind all of this. And so then Malaysia's like, you know what? I need to go and meet with my cousin because I don't believe that he's the one that's saying these things. I truly believe it's only CeCe. And then we talk about OG, and she tells us about the story of how when her first impression of OG was, did he get a gag order on you? And she's like, no, I'm a boss bee and all this other type of stuff. So then she says, you need to be concerned with your man having babies for him, or if you even can have babies and not be concerned with me. And I'm like, oh, you've been talking to somebody. How you know that that's a sensitive topic for OG? How do you know that? Because Kwame wasn't trying, he ain't trying to put no ring on it. He is not trying to have no kids. So Malaysia goes to meet with Byron. He is playing golf and, she's there on a mission. She's trying to prove the fact that her cousin is not saying all of this stuff. So she starts to say, we had that skincare party and I'm a little concerned because I keep trying to get CeCe and Kristen on the same page. I'm trying to make it work. I know that this is family. Family is important, but I need help here because nothing I'm doing, nothing is sticking with them. It just seems like they're just always going at each other's neck. And what is it? Can you help me here? And he's like, yeah, what's going on? And, OG at the party, she says some things about the fact that Thomas is not your real son. He says, yeah, but it's not a secret. People know this. It's not a big deal. That's my son regardless. And she's like, yeah, but did you give, she said that you told her that she could take that information and, repeat it. And he said, yeah, it's not a secret. So did you want her to go and use this information against Kristen? And he's like, no, of course not. So do you believe that CeCe has some fault in all of this? I absolutely do. He's like, look, I believe both of them have fault in this. I'm not saying that CeCe's innocent, and I'm not saying that Kristen's innocent. Kristen is painting him out to be a bad grandfather, and they remind us about what happened in Amsterdam. He says, look, I don't understand why this girl keeps trying to make it seem like I'm a bad grandfather. Every time I've reached out to try to get Kenzie, they always say that she's either asleep or she's busy, and then they never drop her off to me. They never bring her over there to me. I've never watched her. So why are you trying to paint me out to be a bad grandfather when you're not doing your part? There's plenty of times that I've called and I'm always shut down. So why am I going to continue to try and get her when y'all don't want me to? So now, y'all, I'm extremely confused. I don't understand it. Byron is saying, look, I've tried to reach out. I've tried to get her. Kristen is saying, no, you haven't. You haven't done this. You haven't done that. Who's lying? Even Thomas supported the fact that no, he doesn't get Kenzie. I really believe y'all just want CeCe out the picture. And then that's why CeCe is fighting so hard against y'all and she's so defensive because y'all really don't want her there. You don't want her to be happy with CeCe, and this is why CeCe is reacting the way that she's acting. All right, y'all, that's all I have for you. Go ahead, get into the comments and let me know what you thought about this episode, and until next time, y'all.
Yeah, low key and maybe high key. I been peeped that you like.